Welcome to Secure Money Mindset, the ultimate podcast for financial planning tips and strategies. Our episodes are designed to be concise and to the point, lasting no more than 30 minutes. Each episode features seasoned advisors from Secure Planning Group or an outside financial specialist discussing crucial issues and providing actions to consider when addressing your top financial concerns. We value honesty and transparency, meaning we present both the good and the bad news in a clear and concise manner. Our goal is to provide you with reliable insights and practical guidance. Be sure to hit the follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes. For more information, please visit our website at securepg.net. Let's dive into this week's episode of Secure Money Mindset.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Rothbard. I'm an advisor with Secure Planning Group, and I'm here today with Brett Feldman. So today is March 12th, and that means March Madness is right around the corner. It's one of the most fun times of the year in the sports world, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the parallels between preparing for a successful March Madness, whether you're filling out a bracket or you're an actual team, and the similarities to creating a successful financial plan. So today we're going to talk about things like building a winning strategy. Again, whether it's for your financial plan, building a bracket, or whether you're a NCAA team participating in the tournament. We're going to be talking about how to seed your investments, like teams get seeded in the bracket. And we're going to talk about surviving and advancing, making adjustments if you're a basketball team, similar to making adjustments to your financial plan when different obstacles or variables get in your way. So, Brett, why don't we start by talking about the importance of data and research? So give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so as Josh mentioned, when it comes to building your March Madness bracket, it comes down to research, adaptability, risk assessment, stuff like that. The same words that we use when it comes to building your portfolio. So in that players might be injured, or maybe there are coaches that are more experienced. They know how to deal with March Madness and all the outside factors. It's called March Madness for a reason. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the better team wins. As we know from past years, that is very rarely the case. And I think there's a lot of similarities between that and building a successful investment strategy.
So Brett, I'm a sports guy. You're a sports guy. When you put together your bracket, what kind of research are you doing? Where do you go? What types of things do you look for?
So first of all, March is the best time of the year. We got the weather coming around and just nonstop basketball. So when I'm building my bracket, I'm looking for, like I mentioned, experience. The teams that have been there before, the coaches that have been there before. Another factor is the better team doesn't always win. A stat that we have pulled up here is that 35% of 12 seeds actually beat the 5 seed in the first round. So that's more than one per year that a 12 seed beats a 5 seed. So it's unpredictable, and it's important to do your research to find out which 12 seeds are going to beat the 5 seeds.
Right. And so there's a lot of parallels between that and financial planning. It may be easy to just pick all the top companies or the top mutual funds or ETFs, but they're not the winners all the time. So just like in NCAA basketball, we want to make sure that our portfolios are well diversified, because we don't always know what's coming around the corner. We don't, we can't always necessarily be prepared for the unknown. Take, for example, now, we're in a period of, there's trade wars, there's geopolitical issues, there's inflation issues. So when we put together a portfolio, whether that's 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. It's so tough to try to picture these unforeseen events. So we want to make sure that our portfolios are going to be diversified, and we're going to get a little piece of different sectors of the market, whether that be tech, financials, maybe it's taking a bigger piece in fixed income. We want to do these things so we could be prepared for the unknowns, just like we're going to see in a couple weeks. Maybe you think Duke is going to win it all or Auburn is going to win it all, but there's always going to be that unknown that we need to be prepared for. And if we're prepared for the unknowns, then our financial plan is going to be successful. And maybe less importantly, our brackets are going to be successful, but we'll certainly have a lot of fun either way. We kind of hit on it before, dealing with uncertainty and risks. What are some things that you do with your bracket to kind of prepare for that uncertainty? Because we know every year that it's not just the 1 seeds and the 2 seeds that advance. There's always lower seeds. So what are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, so I find so in the end, it does turn out that number 1 seeds do win most often. In the last 37 years, 24 number 1 seeds have won it all. That's a pretty high number. So it is important to in the end have your 1 seeds in the Final Four and in the finals. However, when it comes down to winning your bracket, the team that's going to win it, or the person that's going to win it, is usually the person that takes the most risk and ends up working out for them. So although the number 1 teams are typically the most successful, it is important to diversify and set yourself apart from the rest of your pool, because that's what's going to make you a winner.
So again, I loved March Madness. I love watching basketball. I remember maybe it was 10 years ago, give or take, Duke was a very, very high seed, and they were playing Lehigh. And apologies to all of you out there who attended Lehigh, but we know Lehigh isn't a basketball juggernaut, but they were that day. They took down Duke. I think it was a player, C.J. McCollum, who was on Lehigh, who's now in the NBA, and he led Lehigh to victory. So even if you prepare and do all your research, again, sometimes the unknown does happen. So in terms of the bracket, if you had picked Lehigh, and I'm sure the only people that picked Lehigh to win that game were the students that went to Lehigh or the alumni, they did well. And that's because they were diversified, very, very similar to building out a portfolio. So let's talk about, staying flexible, making adjustments along the way. Once you put your bracket in, that's it. There's no adjustments. Okay. But what if you're a team? How does staying flexible or making adjustments help in terms of overall winning?
Yeah. So in March Madness, it's all about the matchups. If a team is a zone heavy defense, but they're going against a team that can shoot the lights out, then maybe zone defense is not the best strategy for you. Typically, when teams are a good shooting team, you're going to want to go man to man, so you're able to adjust and shut down the other team's strengths.
Okay. So very similar, again, to putting together a portfolio. A couple years ago, the tech sector, with AI and cloud computing, and now we're hearing about quantum computing. All these new technologies are coming out. So for those who maybe didn't have exposure to that sector, maybe it's important to make a little bit of an adjustment, even if you want to be conservative in your portfolio. It doesn't hurt maybe to make a little bit of an adjustment to get exposure to new technologies. So there certainly are some similarities, and we understand that this podcast is supposed to be a little fun. We don't normally talk about sports, so some of the similarities may be a little bit of a stretch. But again, we're here to have fun and make these comparisons. So
I do have another perfect comparison for you there. So when you mentioned quantum computing stocks, stuff like that, year over year, you're going to see different conversations based on what's next, where the market's going to go. A good comparison to that is Auburn. Auburn is not typically one seed. However, it looks like they're going to be a one seed this year. They've got a roster with some potential NBA players, and that's not usually the case. For Duke, it is. So Duke can be compared to the typical blue chip stocks that you're always going to want in your portfolio. Auburn is the team that the conversation changes around them year over year, and there's plenty of other teams in the field this year that are similar to Auburn who knows what's going to happen with them.
All right, I'm going off the cuff here. Trivia question time. Name one player on the Sixers who went to Auburn and one player on the Sixers that went to Duke. For you listening right now, if you want to put a pause and think about that, but I'm going to put Brett on the spot right now. So you're a sports fan.
Is this current?
No, it doesn't have to be current, just all time. One Auburn player on the Sixers, one Duke player on the Sixers. I'm putting you on the spot. Let's see what you got.
All right, first Duke player that comes to mind, Jahlil Okafor.
Okay.
We're the same age. I have his Duke jersey, and when he was a first-year player in the NBA, I was thrilled to have him on the Sixers, one of the all-time offensive post players for Duke. And shoot, I think you got me on the Auburn players. I can't think of any.
So I was thinking Duke. I was thinking J.J. Redick, and you're going to kick yourself. Do you guys know what it is? He was a high draft pick, 1984 from Auburn. Charles Barkley.
Oh no, that's going to look so bad. That's before my time, but no excuses.
We're not going to edit that. Brett could not come up with Charles Barkley. Okay, so why don't we finish up? Again, this podcast was intended to be more fun than anything else. So we are coming up to the tournament. Brett, any thoughts on picks for the tournament? Any strategies that our viewers, if they do participate in a pool, they could use? And we're not going to put any pressure on you because it's so tough to win these things. And oftentimes the winner of these pools are people who just like a certain mascot or a certain color. But Brett, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, final thoughts are, I don't know how I'm going to get over missing Charles Barkley. That's a bad one. I'm sorry to my dad and my friends who are going to expect better of me with that one. So the strategy that I typically use is like I mentioned before, it's important to have the one seeds sprinkled in. I also like to have multiple brackets, so I can always have one to rely on if I take a flyer on one and it doesn't work out. But in the end, you typically want to pick the best teams to make it to the finals and the Final Four. But the team that's going to win your pool is going to be the team that typically takes a chance and ends up working out.
All right. So you brought up an interesting point, and I think we'll finish up on this. So you said that oftentimes you do multiple brackets. In the world of financial planning, what would you call that?
Mutual fund.
Okay. I was thinking diversification.
Same thing.
And a mutual fund is a basket of stocks, so we will count that answer. That is diversification. But if you want to win your pool, you need to diversify. You can't put all your eggs into one basket. Do multiple brackets. Have fun with it. Oftentimes, you're going to do a bracket maybe in your office or with friends or family. So if you have a chance to do more than one, definitely do more than one. Don't make them the same. Just like in investing, you want to diversify, like I said, but also you want to make sure you're allocated toward all different sectors of the market, and you want to be allocated toward different seeds in your bracket. So we were talking before, you mentioned oftentimes in the first round, a 12 seed beats a 5 seed, but I know that was like 35% of the time. I know that like a 9 seed beats an 8 seed, like about 50% of the time. 10 seed beats a 7 seed. I forget what the percentage is, maybe 45% of the time. So if you're going to win your pool, you need to take a little bit of risk. If you want to have a successful financial plan, you need to take a little risk. I think that's our overall message for the day. So thank you very much for listening to this podcast. We wish you a lot of luck with your brackets, and we wish you even more success with your financial plan. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us or your advisor. We're always happy to have a conversation on what could be done to make sure you achieve your financial goals. And with that, good luck, everybody. See you next time.